What is up? What is up, YouTube? Emergency update. Somebody set the design to resign by Monday. Shout out to everybody around the world, man. I basically, they sent me this, and I watched a little bit of it yesterday, and something major is happening on the other side of the world. I have no idea what it is, but I trust the person who sent it to me. I can't remember who sent it to me. Y'all know Uncle Mike crazy. But look here, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. People in their world know what's going on. Let's
Against
check it
all
out.
odds, we are finding ourselves in the midst of more breaking news. I have never once seen this in Canadian history, where there's breaking news upon breaking news upon breaking news. They multiply into more breaking newses, breaking news-I. This doesn't make any sense. These are supposed to be the Christmas holidays, the New Year's. This isn't supposed to be breaking news for politics in the news, but here we are. Breaking news-I. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video, everybody. Before we get into it, right off the hop, I want to encourage you guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn post notifications on so you don't miss another breaking news-I video in the near future. And I want to encourage you guys to stick around for the full thing so you have context as to what is actually happening. So Justin Trudeau is rushing back to work weeks ahead of schedule because of multiple different reasons. There's a race right now to see who can be the next leader of the Liberal Party. So a lot of MPs, the Liberal MPs, they don't want Justin Trudeau to remain as Prime Minister, or more importantly, leader of the Liberal Party. And they've been calling on him. And then there's another one that we're going to take a look at today that's calling on him to basically step aside and that there needs to be a change of leadership. While that is happening, you have an emergency caucus meeting that's being announced next week, which is crazy because no one's supposed to be back at work technically till the 27th, when Parliament resumes, of January. So everyone's rushing back to work. And then there's also lots of different speculation that Justin Trudeau is going to be resigning as early as Monday. I mean, this is insane behavior as to what the heck is going on. So are we going to face an early election? Is Trudeau going to resign? Are they going to prorogue? What the heck are we dealing with? So we're going to lay out all the information in this video, and that's why you need to stick around for the full thing so you have the full context as to what the heck is actually happening. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with the letter here from Winnipeg South Centre regarding the leadership of the Liberal Party of Canada. Basically says that this member, Ben Carr, is going to be running as an MP. He's not changing that. But what he does think is that it is with those principles that I keep in mind, I call for a change in the leadership of the Liberal Party of Canada. So again, another Liberal is calling on something to happen within the leadership race. So that's been happening over and over again. The news that happened a few days ago, Marco Mendicino resigning. I'm sure you're all, tied into that, where Marco Mendicino resigned. He didn't thank Justin Trudeau in his letter, didn't mention him once, which is very interesting because once upon a time, Marco Mendicino was part of Trudeau's cabinet. He was in the inner circle. But since then, you have these new speculations that everybody's gearing up for Trudeau's resignation announcement expected by Monday. And it's coming from multiple different angles. Some people are saying it would be truly shocking if Justin Trudeau resigned on Monday. It would be much better for Canada's recovery and well-being if we get to fire him directly at the ballot. It's not time for the Liberals to have a protracted leadership race at our expense. It's time for an election. And I very much agree with that. I think Canadians deserve that closure to just vote Trudeau off the island. Now, in my video that I made yesterday, I said that Chrystia Freeland is set to replace Justin Trudeau. And that's because there's been reports by the media, mainstream media, it's in the video. They are reporting on the fact that Freeland is going around talking to a bunch of different Liberals, trying to basically schmooze them up and get them on her side. So when it comes time for maybe an internal vote or the board of directors to make a decision on who's going to replace Justin Trudeau as interim leader of the Liberal Party, then Freeland wants to be that nomination. While that is happening, you have another person who's rushing to make phone calls to other Liberal MPs, and that would be Mark Carney. Apparently, Mark Carney has hit the phones and called up dozens of Liberal MPs ahead of a possible leadership bid. I find it wild, the number of people interested in becoming the Liberal Kim Campbell, which, again, if we just look at who has a better chance of leading the Liberal Party, like in a better position than Justin Trudeau, I think that's going to be Freeland. I don't like the woman. I think she's a gross person that has just very much destroyed our country. Like, how do you put a country into $16 billion additional deficit and not raise any red flags when you've got those guardrails, those supposed guardrails on? But that's a story for another day. There's just a lot of people rushing to do something first. The Conservatives want to vote in on confidence. The NDP wants to vote in on confidence. Trudeau may resign, may not resign, may prorogue, may not prorogue. He may just go into the election, early election in the next few months and lose. No way he's going to win. The Liberals want him out. Who's going to replace him? There's a lot of moving parts. But what's really interesting about all this is what I said at the start of the video. Trudeau is going back to work right now. Let's take a look.
The Prime Minister paid his respects to a late former U.S. president and later attended a committee meeting focused on the massive tariff threat from the incoming president. But Justin Trudeau's return to Ottawa only reignited calls for him to resign.
The only reason that our party is threatened with oblivion right now is because the Prime Minister doesn't want to leave.
A growing number of MPs want him to heed the calls to step down.
If I was to be asked for advice, my advice would be to prorogue, resign, basically assist the transition of leadership.
But the Prime Minister isn't.
I like this guy right here, man. I'm sorry, I don't know too many people's names. I'm not that good with names. And a lot of people say that, but I am not good with names. But this guy right here, I like the way he speaks because I'm so busy studying the person. I don't care about what your name is. I care about you as a person. And if I like you enough, then I remember your name. But I like the way this person educates me on what's going on in the world.
Prorogue.
This guy's
resign. Basically assist the transition of leadership.
But the Prime Minister isn't revealing what he'll do, even as more rank-and-file members say it's obvious.
It would be, it'd be responsible on the Prime Minister's part to say, maybe my time has come.
Trudeau did not speak publicly Friday and has largely stayed out of view since the stunning resignation of former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland.
For me, what's really interesting is the silence at this time is exactly the opposite of what you would expect if somebody was trying to hold on to the job.
And the holiday break handed him another blow, with longtime Toronto MP Marco Mendicino announcing he will not be seeking re-election, adding to the list of high-profile Liberals distancing themselves from Trudeau.
There is not an institutional way out of it, and I think that that's a broader problem, and it is an aspect of a cult personality party. Building a party around a person is dangerous.
Questions about the Prime Minister's future will likely only grow louder between now and January 27th, when MPs return from the winter break. If Trudeau continues to remain silent, it will be a long 3.5 weeks for the Prime Minister and a party in crisis. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦.
So the only way that I see Justin Trudeau getting himself out of this entire situation is by basically coming out and doing a press conference going, guys, you know what? I've thought about it. I think we're going to axe the tax. We're going to build the homes and we're going to put jail and not bail and basically just do a complete reverse of everything that the Liberals stand for and just take all of the conservative points and start implementing them. But they're not going to do that. He's not going to do that. There's no way. And then the entire Liberal Party would just shatter because that's the total opposite of what their belief system is. And so it's just not going to work. There's nothing that Justin Trudeau can say or do to get himself out of this mess. It's a sinking ship. So who's going to replace him? Well, we're going to have more answers on that as early as next week. According to Canadian Politics Insider on X, Prime Minister Trudeau is about to face yet another uncomfortable caucus meeting. The Liberals will be holding a special caucus meeting next Wednesday before noon. Oh, poor Justin. Imagine he takes a walk in the snow the day before, which is very interesting because that is multiple caucus meetings, emergency caucus meetings that have taken place in just the past few months. That's the day after the CPC-led committee is meeting, where the Conservatives will introduce the non-confidence vote. The Liberals know they're screwed, and I'm here to watch the downfall happen. I mean, abso-freaking-lutely. Everything is collapsing, and it's all zoning in really fast. So who is going to replace Justin Trudeau? Will he prorogue to stall? That's entirely possible. And I just need everybody to be fully prepared for that to actually take place. But we've also heard Justin Trudeau in the past say that he's not going to prorogue. But this decision might not actually be up to Justin Trudeau because it's an internal Liberal mishap, miscommunication, lack of confidence. Everything, or the pillars of the party is crumbling. And so it might just come to a vote, say we need to prorogue and we need to replace somebody and redo everything. And that might just be the reality. Or the vote of non-confidence is the first to the punch, and then we head into an election. So it's a race no matter how you look at it. Going back to some X posts here, Stephen Taylor says none of the Liberal MPs say they will sit as independents or form a new caucus. They're just calling for new leadership, which is a whimpier whimpier without a wallop. I mean, that is kind of crazy if you think about it. And then you take a look at the polls here, and you got 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 versus Trudeau, a friggin' blue wave, and then it looks quite similar, actually more powerful than it did in 2011. And then for those that missed it, we've got Lizzie Dizzy here that I posted this on my additional channel, my extra channel, but for those that missed it, we're going to play it now. She went on a drunken spur like a sailor. Let's take a look.
So no, sorry. And I really also take offense, sorry, Mr. Trump, took offense to your idea that 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 wasn't good enough to lead the Conservatives. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he's great. He is the great one. He skates to where the puck is going. It's not going to MAGA. The puck is on a Canadian ice rink. And by the way, Mr. Trump, please, before making public pronouncements that Wayne Gretzky should run for Prime Minister, give yourself or get yourself a briefing on the nature of parliamentary democracy, a Westminster parliamentary system, and a constitutional monarchy where no one runs for Prime Minister. We have elections for members of Parliament. We don't get to pick and choose among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If you're a member of Parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America.
Yeah, we know that, Paul. We know it's different. Maybe he made a wrong choice of words, and I'm not just taking up for him. Maybe the wrong choice of word was too big of a mistake for somebody that's going to be the president of the United States. You should have known better than what's going on in Canada. But he also mentioned that the first time in office, he kind of didn't know what he was doing, but he's getting better at it.
Among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If you're a member of Parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America. I suggest that Mr. Trump find one of his grandchildren's school books and look at the year 1776, which may explain a few things to him about why our systems of government are different. I don't want to belittle Mr. Trump, but on the other hand, hey, Donald, have we got a deal for you? You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province.
Nope.
How about it?
Nope. Hard pass, Elizabeth May. Look, she is one entertaining son of a gun. I'll give you that. I mean, listening to her on her drunken spiels is just incredible. But no, Canada's not adopting California. Nope, sorry. Hard no, we don't want California.
California? Oregon? Washington? You've got geography in common with us. And not only that, we've already got a carbon trading system between California and Quebec. We've got some strong alliances on our west coast from British Columbia. There's been a lot of academic papers on the idea of Cascadia. So California, Governor Newsom, and Washington State, Jay Inslee, and newly elected Governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek, how about it? Want to put a referendum to your citizens? Because this is what you deal. Have we got a deal for you? This is what you get. Free health care. Universal free health care.
No, you don't.
One-year-olds who suddenly fall off the Medicaid list and their parents are in the news because they're trying to do a GoFundMe so they can get their daughter to a doctor.
What a lie. Like, I can't believe, okay, first of all, anyone who's watching from outside of Canada, no, we don't have free healthcare. Our taxes are borderline insane. I mean, they're not borderline. They're completely insane, okay? We're taxed through the wazoo. We're one of the highest tax countries in the entire world. So where does our healthcare come from? It comes from our taxes. It's not free healthcare. And we don't have
You see what I'm saying? You see, right? You see how you learn something? If you following me, Uncle Mike, and you're like, this Canadian, oh man, I'm not in Canadian, but Canada, I'm not in Canada, but it concerns you. It concerns everybody. I never knew, I thought we was the only one to pay taxes or we pay for health care, but they the highest tax country in the world, probably. Think our taxes, everybody, the money gotta go somewhere, people. They gotta go. The cycle, the system gotta work some kind of way. So
insane. Okay, we're taxed through the wazoo. We're one of the highest tax countries in the entire world. So where does our healthcare come from? It comes from our taxes. It's not free healthcare, and we don't have an option to pay anybody to get immediate care. So if you need an ultrasound, if you need a full medical exam, you can't just pay somebody. You have to go on a wait list, and that takes months, if not years. So it's not a free healthcare system. It's a clogged healthcare system. It's a sham. It's a sham. I'd love to hear Elizabeth go on a drunken spur about that.
Universal free health care. And guess what? Those gun laws that your Congress is too afraid to pass because of the national gun lobby, we already got our strict gun laws. That's why we have the safest streets around the world.
What the heck did she just say? The safest streets around the world? Oh my goodness. That's how you know she's drunk.
Or at least in the United States, by the way, the most recent stats, 5.9 out of every 100,000 people is killed in a fatal gun incident versus 0.
You know what? It's funny because in Washington, D.C., just like all these other murder streets type places, unalive street type people. Anyway, Washington, D.C. had one of the highest often people rates, any kind of way, by gun violence or whatever the case may be. The highest, one of the highest, like the third highest in the whole United States cities or whatever. Right across the river is Arlington. Arlington, Virginia, at one time had the lowest. Right across the river, y'all. So what are they doing? Washington, D.C. should look over across the river and go talk to them people. We talking smart people that's running stuff. Should go right across the river and say, what are y'all doing different from what we doing to keep your people safe? Nah, but what they want to do is they want to go spend the money and they want to go and actually, go play golf, buy new cars, go travel. They don't care. They don't care about the people. None of these governments care. 2025 is China. It's time to change this. How in the world? I don't understand how can you have look it up. Washington, D.C., no gun laws. You can't get a permit for a handgun. You can't, back then. You can now. No concealed license, everything. Arlington, the loosest gun laws in the world. You know what I think? If the gun laws are loose, the bad people don't understand who got a gun and who don't. So they ain't shooting nobody. But in D.C., can't nobody carry a gun. So all the bad people got guns, and the citizens that obey the law, don't have a gun. So those are the ones getting shot, murdered, and killed. Crazy, man.
5.9 out of every 100,000 people is killed in a fatal gun incident versus 0.88 per 100,000 in Canada. That's because we have strict gun laws. California citizens, Oregon, Washington, safer streets. Here we already have good gun laws, and women have a right to an abortion under our universal health care system.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.
That's crazy, man. Can you imagine you learning about a country that's right above us? What are they laws? What are they rules? And if the numbers play out, this is how I would do it, to play politics. Well, how come they get better numbers than I'm getting? What are they doing to get better numbers? That's all it is. But nah, you want to be in such competition with everybody instead of helping everybody. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm going to get on up out of here. It's time to get something to eat. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.